See, every phase of the interview is very important. You might think, okay, you scaled through the first one, the second one, or you get the job. You might do the third one and not get the job. So you have to be able to impress everybody in that chain of, employment. So you need to be very careful. So as much as you were enthusiastic or passionate or excellent at the first, interview, be the same way at the last. Until you get that offer, do not assume that you have the offer. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I'm just sitting on my kitchen island to make this video because I don't have any chairs in my apartment right now. And I just feel like it is important I make this video soon enough so that you can get the news and know what's happening. If you're following me on Instagram, I think you already figured out that I'm moving, or if you are like following us on all of our social media platforms, you already know as well. I know that in my last newsletter I stated that I got a second job, but at the time I had already gotten a third job. I just did not spill the tea then. So this is me also telling you that in case you're not a part of my mailing list, ensure that you subscribe to my mailing list so that you get the gist when it comes, the tea and everything. Today's video is dedicated to me letting you guys know that I now have a third job. Yes, like I feel very, very, I don't know how to explain how I feel right now. I don't even know how to show how grateful I am right now. But when making this video, I know that I knew that it was going to happen, but I just, when you pray for something for so long and then it happens, wow. I just want to thank God for everything. From my background, you can tell that I am no longer living in my uncle's house. I have moved into my new home, my new apartment, and I've also been making videos, trying to document everything, my journey. So expect more from this channel. In case your notification bell is not turned on, this is the time to turn it on because videos are coming your way. And I also want you guys to also make a guess which city or state I'm moving to, so that whoever wins it will definitely get a $10 gift card from me. So let's move on to talking about my third job. So guys, I just want to thank God. I remember in December, when everything was just crazy, around March, I started a different job and finally got a second job, and now having 3 jobs in a span of 6 months. Like, I cannot even believe it. Like, I can't believe this. So guys, I promise to tell you everything, but mostly please ensure that you're subscribed to my mailing list so that you can receive it. And again, I want to make this very clear. If you are a current international student, I have a separate mailing list for international students, and I have a separate Telegram community. The first community is closed now, but I opened up a second one for new people. So if you're a current international student, ensure that you join that Telegram community so that you can receive posts that are tailored to international students already, not aspiring international students. And ensure that you also subscribe to the mailing list for current international students so that you receive newsletters about being a student here, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take you guys a little bit back. Sometime in I think I need to check my LinkedIn, because it was LinkedIn I applied for the job, and when I applied for that job I just forgot about it, because I know that my target every day for jobs was at least 10 jobs a day. So that means in 10 days I've applied to like 100 jobs, and 10 jobs a day I'm talking about like in all the platforms. So I applied to that job, and I think I heard back maybe a month after. They sent me an email telling me that they want me to proceed to the next phase of the interview, right? So it wasn't like a recruiter called me or anything for this job. No, actually I applied to the job myself, like the randomly searching for jobs and applying to jobs. That's what I did. So when they told me that I've scaled through, like they were impressed with my application. They asked me to choose a date for the first interview, which I did. When I scheduled for that interview, I didn't really have so much time to prepare, but because I had other interviews as well that I was prepping for. In fact, if I'm being honest, I missed out on one interview because I could not even manage all of them. So finally, I had my first interview, and during my first interview, the first thing that the lady said was that she had gone to my YouTube channel, that she had seen my video on YouTube, and she started talking to me about my video. So it made me feel very comfortable, it made me feel very relaxed, it made me feel very, this person is really interested in me, for you to even dig into like my videos. So that just took away every nervousness, right? So I was in a better position to like talk to her. So from there, she started asking me several questions here and there about me, about the role, what I wanted. And again, one thing that happened when I was applying for the job, they already had an interview like during the application process for that job, right? So during the application process, after I applied, they will take you to another page where they'll ask you questions about like it was job related. I think they asked me about why the company, but it was also, there were questions about the position I had applied for and what I would do in, like scenario based questions. So that was like the first interview I had. So technically I had 4 different interviews for this role. So it went well, we were talking, and she asked me a couple of questions. And I remember that one of the things that made me also very happy about the interview, like after the interview, I knew that, I was very sure that I would proceed to the next phase, was her, like the questions she asked me. Remember I said I did not have time to prepare for anything, like I wasn't prepared. This was one of the interviews that I wasn't as prepared as I would normally be for my other interviews. So I had like, the questions she was asking me, I was just giving them the answers like right there on the spot. I didn't have time to think about it, So she was asking me questions like, if you were a fruit, what fruit would you be? And she was asking me questions like, if you had a superpower, what would that superpower be? And I was giving them responses. Like my responses to her, according to her, I'm going to tell you what she said to me. She said my responses were unique. Like the reason why I'm not sharing my responses here is because I'm going to be holding a job search masterclass that is coming up in September. The link to join that masterclass is in the description down below. It is not free, it is paid for, and I think it should be out, once you sign up, I'll tell you how much. But I believe that masterclass will definitely help you, because I'm going to be revealing a lot of secrets in that. During that masterclass, you have the opportunity to ask me anything that you want to ask me about job searching, and the type of questions that you should prepare for that you don't even know you are expected to give responses to during an interview. So she said my responses were unique. She was already used to hearing a certain kind of response, but I was just giving in my mind, I don't know how I even, but I know that my thoughts are always like geared towards a certain kind of way. So I was responding based on my personality. So she said my responses were unique. She had never heard such responses before, and it was refreshing to her, and she was really excited. So after we did that first interview, she now told me a little bit about the role, but said that the next interview I'm going to be having would expose me further into the role and into the company, and give me an opportunity to ask questions. I remember I even asked certain questions, but she was like, she wouldn't be the right person to answer the questions. She answered some and said she wouldn't be the right person to answer all of the questions, that I should also ask those questions during my next interview if I scaled through. So after the first interview, she told me I should expect a response from them at a certain time. Then I think it took about a week or 2 or so. So by the time that it got to that time frame that she said I should get a response, I didn't get a response. So I reached out to her again, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And if you also want templates to of how you can reach out to, maybe if you're having an interview and they give you a timeline and you don't know what to say after the timeline is over, you don't know if you should reach out to them or not. That's what that masterclass will do for you. It will help. I'll give you templates of emails to send to them. I'll give you templates of what to say, how to say it, and how to structure those emails. And I'll also reveal all the secrets to you in that masterclass. So please, if you are a current international student, you're not in the process of finding a job, it doesn't matter. You start looking for a job very soon. But if you're also in the process of finding a job, then that masterclass is definitely for you. Trust me, you want to know these things before you even get into the job market. Okay, so I just reached out to her, and I'm like, I'm trying to reach out to you. I sent that email to her, and she didn't respond immediately, but she did respond afterwards and referred me to somebody else and said that they are trying to fix a time because the next person that was supposed, before then I had gotten a response that I had proceeded to the next phase. All right, so they were going to schedule another interview for me, but the person that was going to interview me, the manager of my team, was really busy. It was a busy period for them at the company, so it was expected. So she now said, okay, they will try to find out, make a time to schedule that interview. So one thing again that I realized was also, because it was a busy time for the company, it meant that interviews, if you were going to have an interview in 2 weeks, chances are that it might not happen that 2 weeks. It might happen 1 month after, or even 6 weeks after. So you need to do certain things for you to ensure that interview is held. You need to reach out as much as possible, and not just reach out so you don't become like, you don't seem desperate, and even the content of your letter or your email does not seem desperate. That's why I said join the masterclass so that you can learn. And I would even share with you the exact copy of emails that I sent if you want in the masterclass. So they tried to do that. So while they were trying to do that, it took a longer time as well. Then I reached out again. So there are different phases of reaching out. You can reach out once and they respond, or they don't respond. You might have to reach out a second time, or you might even have to reach out a third time. So for me, I think I did twice. So and I'll share those templates with you in the masterclass. So, but what happened was, finally it was scheduled, and on the day of the interview, now I had time to prepare, because at least I've had the first interview, and even though I missed out on other interviews, I wasn't having back-to-back interviews during the time frame for that second interview. So and knowing that shift from maybe 2 weeks to 3 weeks also made me have time to actually go through the company again and just prepare again, so that I know what to say and I'm asking the right questions. So when on the interview day, it was a Zoom interview as usual, and I also had to introduce myself, talk about myself and everything, and he was asking me a lot of questions, why the role and all of that, and he also now eventually told me more about the team, about the role, about the company, right? So, and then he also, I think this was where it was key for me, it was really key for me, because I trusted him from the very first interview I had. I built trust. I trusted the company, I trusted the interviewer, I trusted everything they were telling me. I don't know, there was just something about them. And so for the second interview, it was the same thing. He was telling me things with certainty. He was telling me things like, if I tell you we're going to do this, we're going to do this. So that was it for me. So he was telling me things that I want, I was looking for, things I did not even realize that I was looking for. The way and manner he presented the company and the team and himself made me realize that this is actually what I'm looking for. I knew that the company was a great fit for me, and I was a great fit for the company. Does that make sense? I know some of these things I'm saying might not necessarily make sense if you're not job hunting, or if you're an international student, your dream, or should I say your dream, your focus at this point is just to get any job. So there are certain things you don't look out for when you're job searching that I have realized I made the mistakes in the past but I'm not willing to, I cannot make those mistakes again, and I don't want you to make those mistakes again. And during the course of that masterclass, I'll review those secrets and the things that I've learned. And if you ask those questions there, I would also answer those questions for you. So please click the link in the description to sign up for the masterclass. So when I had these conversations, it was just an eye-opener for me, and I realized that I actually do love this company and I want to work for them. Fast forward after the interview, and at the end of the interview, he now asked me if I had questions. I asked him a lot of questions. You don't want to go for an interview without any questions in mind. I mean, it just shows that you're not interested in the company, because if you're interested in a company, you want to know certain things about that company. You want to know certain things about that role. You want to know certain things about, how they operate, who they are, and all of those things. So you must have questions. So I had questions. And again, if you want to, if you need help, that's why I said, please subscribe to the masterclass so that you can ask these questions, the right questions to ask during an interview and all of that. So finally, I asked my questions, he answered them, he cleared every doubt. And then he was like, if you have further questions, feel free to always email me. And he also told me that I was going to have a third interview. No, this is now the fourth interview, because the first interview was during the application, the second one was with the first lady, the third one was with my manager, and then the fourth one was going to be with the SVP of the company. So he now told me that if I scale through, according to him, which I know from our interview already that you should, you'll get an email from me telling you that the status of this interview, and also introducing you to the next person that would interview you. And if everything goes well, good and fine, then would provide you with an offer. So fast forward, I also tried to schedule. They also tried to schedule another interview with me for the fourth interview. So now during this time, remember I said the company has been it's been a busy period for the company. So I just tried. So I reached out. I'm like, I haven't heard back, and so there are different kinds of emails that you're supposed to send during an interview period, and you have to be very careful about how you craft that email, so that first, you don't seem desperate, second, you don't also sound rude, and third, you don't also look like you're not being observant or considerate about what is happening in the organization. So if you already have gotten a sense from the very beginning that this is a very busy period for the company, and then they're trying to get you into the company, but then they're also handling a lot of things, you need to be wise, you need to be smart. So I did also try to reach out. I didn't try to bug them, I didn't try to sound rude. So my email template would also teach you how to do these things, and I'll share with you how I did mine, what I said, what I didn't say, and how you can do yours as well. And just so that you have these templates ready for when you start your job searching, or even for your next interview. So I reached out finally, because it also took a while, the SVP of the company, come on. So finally we were able to have a date that was convenient for him, and we met. It was a video interview again. So it was, I think, about an hour. For each of these interviews, it was an hour, or about an hour, or an hour plus. I think it was over an hour for all of the interviews. So finally we spoke. So the SVP is just going to ask you, every phase of the interview is very important. You might think, okay, you scaled through the first one, the second one, or you get the job. You might do the third one and not get the job. So you have to be able to impress everybody in that chain of employment. So you need to be very careful. So as much as you were enthusiastic or passionate or excellent at the first interview, be the same way at the last. Until you get that offer, do not assume that you have the offer, even if they tell you. And I'll tell you something that he said to me. I remember him telling me something after we talked, after the whole interview, was like, I really, really like you, and I think the way you think is different, the way you reason is different. You're bringing in new ideas already. So because we're talking, the approach I use is totally different, and these are things I'll teach you during the master masterclass, the job search masterclass, I went with a different perspective. That's something that you have to learn. And he found it very interesting and very unique. And then he said, I kind of like you and I really want you to get on board. So he said to me that, okay, if you will hear back from me within by next week, right? So when he said you will hear back from me by next week, and then he said, but one thing is this, do not quit your job. Do not quit your job until you get your offer. Do not quit your job. That's what he told me. And I'm like, because I remember I was trying to ask him, so he was asking me how many weeks, this is the time frame that they need me to start, how many weeks notice do I need, can I meet up with that time frame and all of that. So I was asking him like, so when would I hear back so that I can know how to plan myself and everything. So he was like, I repeat again, do not quit your job until you get an offer. Never, 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 never quit your job. So he told me that this is what he tells everybody, because I mean, I might like you, I might want you on the team, but it might not go that way. So if you go ahead to quit your job, what's gonna happen? You might be in soup. So it's a very smart thing to say. It's a very great advice, which is why I love them, because they're very open. They're very, very open. So he now told me that, okay, and I said yes, and we chatted. And there's something else I didn't mention. I took that information away because I'm going to either make a different video or share that information in the masterclass. Okay, so if you're watching this video and you end up joining that job search masterclass, please remind me in the class that I said I was going to mention something but never mentioned it in this video, so that I can mention it during the masterclass. So what happened was, he now told me that I'll hear back. I think the interview was on a Thursday, and he said I'll hear back from him early next week. So early next week should have been like from, you know, Wednesday. Early next week is Wednesday, right? Because late next week will be Thursday, Friday. So I was like, okay, by Thursday, I did not hear back, right? I think I now sent another email. Guys, I did 3 at this point, after the fourth interview, I did 3 key things that ensured that my offer letter came sooner than it should have. And those 3 key things that I did is the reason why I'm making that masterclass, because I want to share with you the 3 tips that I used to secure my offer letter. The 3 tips I used to secure this new job that I have right now. Those 3 tips changed the game for me. So if you want to learn those 3 tips, please ensure that you click the link in the description down below. So finally, I reached out. I didn't get a response, but you know, at some point they replied and told me that you know, they were going to send me an offer. They were going to send me an offer, so I know that I've passed. So this one now, it's not that I don't know that I've not passed, but even when you've passed, sometimes you might just be like, oh, they've told you they will give you an offer. Until that offer is in your hand, until you sign the offer and send back to them, you have not gotten an offer. So I was also like, okay, fine, now I know. I remember that day when they said it, when I received the email, like I cried. I was crying. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I started praying. I was praying. I reached out to my sister. I was like, please pray for me. Like, pray for me. Let me get this offer letter. So, you know, my sister was praying, my mom was praying, everybody was just praying. Me, I was just praying, and I was still going about my job. I now reached out again a second time. I reached out. So if you've watched this video from the beginning to this point, you know that I reached out to them like maybe after the fourth interview with the SVP. I reached out about 3 times because I did 3 key things that changed everything. I think 3 or 4. So before then, I reached out like maybe 3 times. So like I reached out like maybe 6-7 times, which is why I said join the masterclass so that I can share with you the things that I did, and I'll even give you the templates of my own template, and even a new template that you can use, and how you can adjust that to suit your situation. So you know, finally, somebody say finally. Somebody say finally. The God of Valine, The God that brought me from Nigeria to the US. The God that said, my daughter, I will not put you to shame. The God that said, this is your time. The God that said, I have heard your cry. The God that said, it is finished. The God that said, it is okay. Jehovah Nissi, Jehovah Elohim, Jehovah El Shaddai. You people will not understand, because I know that I appear very strong. I make my videos, I come here, I'm this bubbly person. You don't know the journey of the next person. You don't know the challenge that everybody is going through, or the people around you are going through. And during this period, I was going through so much in my life. I was going through bad stuff in my life, but finally God did it. God did it in his time, and I got the offer letter. And when the offer letter came, I couldn't really, I was so overjoyed and so grateful, so thankful that I couldn't even express how, even right now, my heart, it was then I understood what it meant to have like peace. The peace you experience in Nigeria and the peace you experience here in the United States as an international student, they are totally different. You see that period of job hunting, being worried about so many things, looking for sponsorship, no job safe, not to talk of sponsorship. Because at some point you'll be like, just give me the job. Forget the sponsorship. But because they already know that you need sponsorship, they would not give you that job, because they'll feel like they are wasting your time, or you might leave them when you see a company that would offer you that sponsorship. So you are in a fix. You can't go forward, you can't go backward, you are just stuck. So you don't understand. That phase is totally different. And when I'm saying these things, I can't say them, all out like, here. But now I can talk about certain things. If you're not in this situation right now, you might not necessarily relate, because when you're coming, the only thing you're focused on is coming here to study. You never think about coming here after study, what next? So that is the mistake that some persons make. And I want to encourage you, if you're in that position, you're trying to find a job, don't give up, keep applying, because I kept applying. I did not know the particular job that was going to be the job. I didn't know. I was just applying. And if I'm being honest, there were days where I did not apply to any job. I was gone. Like, I was tired. I was fed up. I was exhausted. I needed to I was overwhelmed. So I needed to I just said, you know what, I'm done. Maybe that day I will not apply. I took some time to just take out those hits in my body, So if you are not in that position, you might not necessarily understand what I'm saying. It will not make sense. It will only make sense when you've graduated or the last semester and you're like, what next? So what will happen after this job? Because after your master's, how do I get a job? Because you lose the jobs that you have on campus. You cannot continue to work. So it was a very challenging period for me. But yeah, God did it. I got my offer letter, and I'm currently in a new role. This is job number 3 in a span of April, May, June, July, August. So technically 6 months. In 6 months, I got 3 jobs, and I cannot thank God enough. I give him all the glory because he made it possible. And I thank everyone who has been supportive during this period. Those who were checking in on me, those who were asking, those who were sending me job links. Nanlop is one person that would always just come and she'll just send me links, and I'll just be like, girl, thank you. Thank you, Nanlop. Thank you to my mentors. Thank you to everybody who reached out during that period. To those people who are still looking for jobs right now, trust me, comment right down below. I receive it. I receive my job, because I'm going to also key into that request and pray that God will answer that prayer for you, and you will come to testify. I can't wait for you to say, Valin, I got that job, and I'll be the one even interviewing you to share that testimony. So yes, use this video as a point of contact. claim it however you want to claim it. Cry if you need to. I tell you, I cried. There were times when it was very hard, and I just don't want to come here and start, tearing down. I cannot tell you how bad it was for me, but nobody knew what I was dealing with. When I'm speaking with people, they just feel like I'm this strong person, but it was really, really, really scary. So if you want, you can also join my master class or book a consultation with me if you need a sister, if you need somebody that would somebody that has been there, somebody that you can actually share that journey with. I will listen. I'm here to listen. If you want to connect with me on all of my social media platforms. My emails are also in the description down below. So please don't feel like God has left you or things are not working out your way. I was worried. I had so many things, but finally, they said there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So your light at the end of the tunnel is very soon. So believe it, keep praying, and keep applying, because you never know the particular job that will be that job for you. I did not plan to make this video right now. I just picked up my camera and I'm like, okay, let me try this. This area, because I don't have a chair. And I started talking, play. This is over 30 minutes of me sharing that I have a third job. I've been waiting to make this video. Now I've made the video and I get to share with you everything else that I've been doing in the past, like my moving, my relocation process, everything. You get to see all of those videos. So ensure to guess what city or state that I moved to, and let me know what your thoughts are. What videos you want me to make moving forward. I shared a poll in my community tab some days ago, and I was asking which category, what is your situation right now? Are you an aspiring international student, a current international student, that is job searching, a current international student that is working, or others? So go to my community tab and vote, so that I know the people that are on my channel and I know the kind of videos that I should make. Also leave video suggestions if you want to see more of job search videos, or just give me your video ideas. What do you want to see on my channel? Because I want to be there for you going forward. And yes, guys, I'm also going to be decorating my apartment. I'll need your help. I know I've started already, but just also be suggesting. The next video you see would be like my apartment tour. Yeah, no, after this video, my apartment tour will come, like it is the 4th video after this video, because I have like moving vlog 1, vlog 2, vlog 3, and then my apartment tour. So that's the sequence, but I think I'll just be dropping them one every other day if I'm able to edit, because I still am combining all of these things with work. And yeah, so guys, that's the end of this video. I'm so excited. Thank you to everybody that has been very supportive of my journey. I think I'm forgetting some names right now that I should call to say thank you to, because they've been very supportive, but right now it's not here because I didn't plan for this video. I would have written things down before I make, because that's what I do before I make any video. I already have my talking points, but I don't have anything on me. This was a random video, guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for helping me hit 1K. Now the next goal is 10K. I'm not here to tell you to kill. No, our next goal is 10K. Get me to 10K. Yeah, I'll try to make maybe a 1K video. I've done giveaway, like I'm supposed to do 1K video giveaway, but I've done some behind the scene giveaway to 2 of my same subscribers. That's why if you are in my Telegram community or if you are in my mailing list, you would have benefited already. But either way, I'll still make another one and give 2 people the chance to actually give all of you the chance to participate, but select 2 people to win the giveaway. So yeah, that's it, guys. I cannot end this video without our outro. So yes, until we see you again in my next video, I remain Valin Ose, and I pledge to never give up, and I hope that you do same. Bye, guys. Praising the Lord with all my heart always. Hallelujah, my Lord is good. Hallelujah, my Lord is good. Guys, if you're seeing the frames behind, those frames are broken. Like, I received them. I think you should see it in one of the vlogs. They are broken. I received them from Target. They are all broken. So I've called them for a refund. I don't know what they are saying. But anyway, we move. They just send me my money back. No, I don't want a replacement, because now I'm even worried. So I think I might even go to their store and pick it in person versus asking, buying online, and then they'll ship it again and it gets broken. I don't have that strength. So you guys, I'll see you in my first moving vlog. Who's excited? Bye guys.